Hello. In this video, I'll go over 3 possible unit structures for teaching online reading comprehension. In online inquiry projects, students develop their own inquiry or research questions and use those questions to drive the unit. Teachers give lessons based on the skills of online reading to students that support them as they develop answers to their inquiry questions. And in each step of the process, the teacher guides students giving lessons on navigation, evaluation, synthesis, and so on. This is similar to a more traditional research project. It just happens online. And it could be about topics that are perhaps more informal than a traditional research project would be. That's really up to the teacher and the goals for that unit. Literacy inquiries. So this one is a little bit more unusual, a little more tricky. And this one, students make themselves the content of the class by looking at their own activity online and discussing it. So students bring in examples of the way that they use the internet to read, and then the class talks about those. Oftentimes students will, by talking about each other's online activity, generate new strategies themselves, but the teacher can also, while listening to these discussions, introduce strategies to teach the students. So say perhaps the students are all talking about how they read about politics online. The teacher may then introduce a reading strategy by which students can evaluate the trustworthiness of the sources they're using to read online. So just as in the online inquiry projects, the teacher is teaching lessons to the students that they can apply through their online reading. But instead of conducting searches based on research questions, students here are applying the lessons directly to their lives outside of school that they conduct online. Lastly, a genre study. This is a kind of unit that's already popular in reading and writing workshops, in which students read and write in one particular genre for a specified period of time, and they learn all about that genre. So this is just the same thing, but in an online setting. So say, for example, blog posts was the genre. Students would read lots of blog posts, and then they would develop over time a blog post of their own, or it could be multiple blog posts, using whatever reading and writing workshop structure the teacher had put into place. So in this one, students during the beginning of the unit would be searching for, finding, and reading examples of the text in the particular genre. And I emphasize this because this would be the time when the teacher would, just like in the last 2 examples of unit structures, be teaching lessons on navigation, evaluation, synthesis, things like that. Regardless of what kind of unit you use to structure your teaching of online reading, students should have a chance to inquire, to practice the skills they're learning, to learn from their teacher via explicit instruction on those skills and strategies, to explore online, to make creations based on the reading they're doing online, and to reflect on what they're learning. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll end with a handout on resources you can use to continue developing your teaching of online reading.